Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Melody Shree Rogers, aka Money Making Mel, aka Mogul Making Mel, and we've got a few things to talk about, y'all. So first and foremost, the second annual Winter Wonderland tickets are still on sale. Regular admission, I believe it's $231. I believe there's like 9 VIP tickets left that is like for $400 and something odd dollars. And I still believe that there are tickets available if you want to be a sponsor. Also, Mel has still been going live on the Tickety Talk, has been having all types of sales with 7th Avenue Beauty. So whether you were on her TikTok lives while she's doing those sales, or if you are a part of anything to where she's promoting her discount codes and everything else for the 7th Avenue Beauty website, there is that. Also tomorrow, Mel, remember, she is going to be featured for New York Fashion Week, the 7th Avenue Beauty athleisure wear. The athleisure line is going to be featured. She had posted on her Instagrammies that they were looking for models, that they were doing some casting calls and things like that, but it is going to be tomorrow. And she also, Mel, was promoting tickets if you are in New York, if you are attending or are already in New York for Fashion Week, or you're in a hop, skip, and a jump somewhere nearby, like I said, New Jersey, Philly, wherever. It also was tickets for you to specifically go to that show, because that is going to be one of the brands that are going to be featured and everything else. So I believe Mel will be en route. I think I heard that she has a court date today. However, it's not related to Martell. It's related to something else. Those of you that know. After that, she, I presume, will be on her way to New York for New York Fashion Week and to promote everything associated with 7th Avenue Beauty, including her athleisure wear line. Now, what I want to talk about, y'all, is something weird that happened on Mel's Tickety Talk Live yesterday, and shout out to Pinky the housewife, right? Because she had captured Mel's Tickety Talk Live, and there was a user, I guess their name is Conrad, and they've previously been on other lives of Mel's in the past and everything else. However, what was happening, of what I saw, is it looked like Mel, I don't know if Mel was having sound issues or not, or what was going on. It sounded like she was on the phone with Canavius, but it sounded like Conrad somehow got added to this Tickety Talk Live. Now, I'm not too familiar with TikTok Live. I don't know if people can be added by accident or people can automatically be brought up and you have no idea, but this is not the first time that I've seen with different celebrities, with different reality stars, that sometimes out of the blue, if you weren't trying to have anybody come up, or if you were trying to add somebody and somebody random appears and they just start talking about random things that have nothing to do with the topic at hand or at the issue at hand, you guys know when Mel does her Tickety Talk Lives, 9 times out of 10, she is there to promote the products, to show demos of the products, to sell the products, right? And so she had some music playing in the background. She was playing Beyonce's Get Me Bodied or whatever else from Beyonce's second solo album, Deja Vu. No issue, right? However, it seemed this Conrad person kept asking Mel what song she was playing, what song was that, And it just seemed like he was just really trying to get her attention, to get her to acknowledge him. However, this is not typical of when Mel adds people to her lives. When she actively is adding people to her lives, there is, she's going to greet you. She's going to ask how you're doing and this and that, and ask what your question was. This seemed as though he was not supposed to be added and somehow got added to Mel's TikTok live. And it sounded like Mel was on the phone with Canavius or somebody else to find out how to get him off the TikTok live, is what I was understanding. And it sounded like there might have been some hearing issues as well, to where she possibly wasn't even hearing what he was saying, right? And then it became a point to where I think he got muted, or maybe he muted himself, I don't know, or maybe the whole thing was muted, I don't know, but you could still hear him talking, still hear him asking questions, but I don't know what the context of that, if he was still just being, just asking again, what song was that? What song was this? What song was that? So finally, Mel was able to get him removed from the TikTok live, was able to get him, off the TikTok live. I don't know if she blocked him or what took place, but you could hear Mel on the phone basically telling Canavius, like, do I need to get out of this TikTok live and come back in? Because if so, I will do it. But then she basically gave a debrief after everything and said that this Conrad person has been on her lives previously. And she said that she has no problem adding people or having people come up, whether it is on the TikTok live, whether it's on the Instagrammy lives. She has no problem with that. However, it gets to a point where certain people like to put 20 on 10, like to, kind of manipulate the moment, try to manipulate the situation, or try to take things to a different direction. And it's completely and utterly unnecessary, you guys. It is unnecessary. I didn't understand if the point of the TikTok live was Mel to promote her 7th Avenue Beauty products and to sell the products and whatever flash sales that she was doing, why this person who got, however they got added, right? Or however that happened, just decided, okay, this is my moment. I'm just going to continue to ask the same question 150 different types of ways. What song is that playing? Mel, can you answer me? Mel, can you respond? Mel, can you do this? Mel, can you do that? And it seems like, and I think this is kind of a bigger issue, you guys, that it seems with Mel that there's people who feel entitled to her, people who feel like they are owed her attention, that they are owed her access. And when it doesn't happen, it's like a switch goes off. It's like, oh, I never liked Mel, or I couldn't stand her anyways, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, Mel even talked about how she's poured into people who had questions about content creation, who had questions about being on YouTube or being on other social media platforms, and Mel giving people free advice. But it seems as though people take certain interactions with Mel and it becomes like an obsession. It becomes like a habit. Okay, Mel has added me X amount of times to her TikTok live, for example, in the case of this person. She's added me X amount of times, so I can just act any old kind of way because I'm a regular. So I can just keep asking Mel time and time again, the same question 150 ways, and she is going to acknowledge me, and she is not going to care because I'm VIP. I am VIP, and she continues to add me, and I feel like this is a bigger problem, y'all, where this need for Mel's attention, this need for Mel's validation, and this entitlement that if Mel has ever given you any type of opportunity or any type of motion or any type of attention, that some people no longer respect her boundaries. that some people no longer respect the confines of what that looks like, that there has to be a mutual level of respect here, that if I pull you up or if I've had you around a certain number amount of times to where you've been allowed to participate on my lives, you've been able to participate in certain interactions with me, you can't get to a point where now all of a sudden, if you're not getting back the same energy from me or you're not getting a certain response from me, now all of a sudden HE breaks loose and you just switch up on me altogether. No. I feel like people need to understand that there has to be levels of respect here. Just like when Mel tells y'all, like, not to send her anything, not to be in her DMs, not to do all of this and not to do all of that, but people still do it anyways. People still do it anyways. And even if you're blocked, or even if she's not fooling with you, still seeing what she's tuned into, still seeing what she's got to say, still seeing if there's an opportunity that she's going to add you on her TikTok live or on her Instagram live, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all, y'all. And it's like, people then will go into, oh, well, see, this is why Mel falls out with people, or though this is why Mel's a bad friend, or this and that, or maybe the other cast members were right about Mel, but people never look at it from the perspective of, did so-and-so say or do something that was out of bounds? Did somebody say or do something behind the scenes that was out of bounds, that was beyond Mel's boundaries, and that is the real reason she cut you off? Or that is the real reason she's cool on you? Nobody ever takes that into account. They always see the fallout. They always see the aftermath, that Mel's not cool with certain people anymore. Mel's not bringing up certain people on her TikTok lives anymore. Mel's not interacting with certain people anymore. But people never know the behind the scenes. So this is an easy mark. This is easy bait for people who don't like Mel to say, oh, Mel is rude to this Conrad person. Mel's being rude. Mel's being over the top. Mel's being a diva. This and that. No. This person, however they got added to this TikTok live, decided to come on there and be a nuisance. And just ask the same question 150 different ways, and Mel wasn't acknowledging them. Mel didn't even greet them or acknowledge them or anything, because she was just there for work. She was just there to promote 7th Avenue. But they could not handle that. They wanted Mel's acknowledgement. They wanted Mel's attention, and this is how I feel some people have gotten parasocial when it comes to Mel. And that is why, even if they don't receive what they think they deserve to receive from her and decide to turn on her or decide they don't like her anymore, they still are keeping tabs on everything she's got going on. And to me, that is weird. That is weird, because if Mel has told you she's cool on you, she's good on you, she's blocked you, she's not featuring you, I would think everything having to do with Mel, you would want nothing more to do, okay? She wants nothing to do with me. I may have said or done something that was too far, that was beyond her boundary. Let me take a step back. Let me leave her alone. But instead, people turn that into, let me go harder. Let me go join the hate train against Mel. And just completely attack her and be mean to her. No. So yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on that, because I just thought that whole exchange was very interesting, was very weird and everything else. But I feel like Mel did the best that she could do in that situation. She was trying to troubleshoot herself, how she could get that person off of her live. It didn't work. However, she immediately called Canavius, from what it looked like, from what I saw of Pinky the Housewives live, that she was able to capture, that Mel was able to get Canavius to have her follow the steps that she needed to follow on her phone or whatever device to get that person off, to get that person removed. And then Mel explained what happened. This person has been around before, has been on her lives before. However, consider this particular interaction like it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate, and it crossed a boundary, it crossed a line. So there is that. That is it. That is all for this video. Es todos, es final, it is finito, it is over, it is it. It is, you've reached the end of the video. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.